All right, so I don't know if I will stay long or not. I just don't know. I'm just gonna go with the flow of things. I like to thank everybody for tuning in. I really thank you guys for following the show. So many things on my mind, but just like to say, so what? Let's go, Cowboys. We didn't make no move this week, but that's okay. We still got some things in the fray. We still got some things on our mind. I want to be able to tell you guys that I'm still working on film, letting you guys know that, and I really appreciate those who've been following the channel for a long time. I'm just gonna just say that over and over again. But the topic of the hour is so what, Cowboys, right? Let's go. Let's get this thing going. I'm so ready for the draft. I'm so ready to see you guys too as well. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure when you guys just comment, subscribe, stuff like that. But I really, and I mean I really want you guys to follow the other outlets too as well, like the Silver and Blue Nation, the DDP page, the Dallas Prospect. He got a video out too as well. The Okoye's film sessions, the Vach Lombardis, the Mark Holmes, the Foots, the Mike Cowboys family, everybody that's out there that does football content as it relates. Joe Rob, I got a lot of things that's coming into the mix, man. Soon, more soon than later. I was gonna try to have a lot of stuff going on in the background and things like that, but I'm trying to work out this new system. So just bear with me. I hope that you guys can hear me too as well. It's just one of those things, man. But let's just look at what the Cowboys did so far, right? This week, nothing. But we had a lot of talk, a lot of stuff talking about Dez Bryant is leaving. They're gonna trade him, or they're gonna cut him once they draft their wide receiver in the draft or something like that. My thing is with this whole thing is that Jerry Jones, and I'm talking about Jerry Jones, love the press media. He loves putting his thing out there with news in general, whether it's good or bad or what have you. And the thing is with Jerry Jones, when he does things like that, it's time out, man. I really want a GM that can just hush and just make moves out there on the field. But neither here nor there. That those things just don't happen, and it's just what it is, man. It's just one of those things. Let me see who all in here too. I haven't even got a chance to look at the chat box and stuff like that. So bear with me. Bear with me as I pull up the box. All right. We got a homeless Mexican. Hope you found a home, fam. We have Daryl O. What's up? And we have Spoonie Dog. Will McClay is getting it done. He is, man. What's one thing we can say? Peanut. What's up, Peanut? Man, what's up? Still hopeful. Okay. Jay, what's up? Wilder. Rachel, shout out to you. It's one of those things, man. I'm not even designed to set up a show today. I've been working on my green screen, been working on some stuff that's behind the scene, looking at some movies, looking at some film sessions, things like that. Homeless Mexican, CACA or Kaka. I think that's what you're saying, right? I think, excuse me, late night cowboy. Late night law with let's go. Dallas Godfrey, yeah, what's up? The thing is, man, make sure y'all can see my other ear, man. The thing is with Dez, I think he stays. I think he get one more year at it, and I think that Dak Prescott is going to have a hell of a year if we can have some things going in the right direction for us, and I hope that can. Hey, the homeless Mexican, he just taking over the chat box. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout for a few seconds if you keep typing that in. let's do this. Let's put you in timeout for just a few seconds. And put you in timeout for a second, just for a second, The thing is, Daryl what's your favorite prospect? And boy stays at 19. I was leaning more towards a Derwin James, Derwin Trinidad James. You all know I've been leaning towards that, but the NFL new ruling had changed my whole entire mindset with this, and the reason being is because of the fact that when you have new rulings in place, right? New philosophy, new subjects that come into the mix. The problem is that I can see right now the NFL, and they swallowing their whistles already when it comes to holding. But then now all of a sudden the NFL just start throwing flags just because a dude do like this and hit you. So that could be a case, that could be a scenario. So just give me somebody up front. Give me a Vita Vea. And I said that on the show that I was on earlier, Mark Holmes' page. Go out and follow his page. I said, give me a Vita Vea. Give me a Will Hernandez if Vita Vea is not there. Give me somebody that can help. Now, the reason why I'm leaning more towards a Vita Vea, and I do know that some people say, well, he really don't have the stats in the production. Stay away from the stats, right? His main goal, his main philosophy is to actually cave into the pocket, push down that pocket, disrupt the pocket, make sure the quarterback cannot step through his throws, making those gaps open for his linebacker to eat. The Jaylon Smiths of the world. Jaylon Smith said his leg is getting a whole lot better, knee, leg, foot, whatever. And then, with that being said, that gives you a better play with Sean Lee. Gives you a better play with the safeties too as well. So now that you're talking about centralizing your team and helping your team out through the middle, then that will help out. And we all know defense wins championships. And that's why I always lean towards defense in the draft. Somebody that can elevate this team and help this team out. It's always a plus, guys. That's why I'm leaning more towards a Vita Vea. Now, if we get a Will Hernandez, I'm not going to jump crazy and call everybody stupid for that pick like I did last year with Taco Charlton. But that's a story of another day. But what I'm saying is that if we get Vita Vea or Will Hernandez, those two are still good picks. If we get a Derwin James, although, I've been preaching for the last 3 or 4 weeks, Derwin James. But this new NFL ruling just had my slight reservation, but I'll still be jumping for joy. I think that Derwin James still can elevate this whole entire team too as well as it relates to the secondary. Now you won't have to really pretty much worry about nothing, but just saying, okay, maybe I can just go after some, because there's always a second wave in the free agency, right? Do anybody can agree with me? Yeah, there's always a second wave in the free agency, and I think that second wave will be some veteran players let go or released when it gets towards the draft or beyond the draft, because they got to fill those drafts. And a lot of teams want to fill their team up with younger guys. Roy, shout out to you, man. KD King, shout out to you too as well. Shout out to Kevin and John that's in the chat box, man. I really appreciate you guys for following the channel and being with the channel. Tay Sports Talk, watch if we draft Isaiah Wynn or Isaiah Oliver in the first and Jesse Bates in the second, would they immediately have one of the best in the secondary in the NFL. I like proof in the pudding, man. It's just one of those things where I like the results. Everybody have reasons, but I want results. So we'll see. Cowboys by nature. I'm naughty by nature. Let me see what we have. Have a feeling that someone is unexpected is going to fall and it's just going to be in the first round. It is, man. What we want as true Cowboys fans, as true people out there that's been rooting for the Cowboys for a long time, we want these quarterbacks to go off the board, right? We want them to go off the board. We want running backs to go off the board. Maybe we want who else we would like? Some receivers to go off the board. Believe it or not, man, at the 19th pick, I don't see a Sutton. I know a lot of people love him. I know a lot of people like his size, his physical traits, and things like that. And I know a lot of people going back to the fact that we worked out Sutton. We worked out these other receivers like the Calvin Ridley. I'm not leaning towards a receiver, and the reason why is because when just go back, look at stats, look at history. Receivers don't win you Super Bowls, and I do know that when it comes to mind of a receiver, you think of the Jerry Rices of the worlds and the Michael Irvin. But that's a whole nother era, a different time. This day and time, yes, it's a pass happy league, but the defense wins championships. Good solid running game, being balanced on the offense, they help you out too as well. So we got the pieces in place. To me personally, this year along, we need somebody that can help out Jason Witten. We need a Jason Witten understudy right now. We need somebody who can stretch the field vertically and get the ball upfield. And we need that type of help. And a lot of people are harking back looking at Rico Gathers, right? And what he was saying all this season, coming up season, that he's the best, he's going to be the best, he wants to be the best, but he don't like to practice. Those things don't mix. So hopefully, somehow, some way, he was just joking on Instagram, and hopefully he put his words where his mouth at, or put his actions out there on the field, and not put his words where his mouth at. You guys know what I'm saying. He put his action to words beyond the field, basically. That's what I'm saying. So what we have out there, Cowboys by nature, yeah, laugh out loud. CeeLo head with everyone who everyone got at number 19. Oh, so you just trying to say who everybody got as far as the Dallas Cowboys at 19. We want Vita Vea, or we want a Derwin James. What's good, Alex? Shout out to you. Shout out to Delta Boy 211 or 2011. Shout out to you guys. I didn't know 54 people were going to stay up this late. I thought I was just going to jump on here for like 5 minutes or so. But shout out to y'all that's following in the chat box. You guys know who you are. Thank you guys for following the channel, because you know, guys, you know. I love to talk Cowboys. I love to stay up late at night. I'm a night hawk, night owl, a night wolf, or whatever you want to call it. What up, the GOAT? The greatest of all time is Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali, man, that joke up there, boy, it was crazy good. Will Hernandez at number 19. Andrew Castillo. If Hernandez go at 19, this is my thinking or notion on this. If Hernandez at 19, Ezekiel Elliott is going to kiss the offensive coordinator. He's going to kiss the offensive line. He's going to be so happy because he fall forward and get 4 or 5 yards. And I do know that the mantra, the talk track of saying that the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is the greatest in the NFL. But they wasn't that last year. They had a lot of holes in the last year as it relates to injuries and freakish things that happen. And Roger Goodell sticking his nose so much in Zeke's stuff, If he sneezes, it goes out of his mouth, Them boys 27, man, what's up? Shout out to you. Come join the Cowboys X Factor. Shout out to you, man. Go follow his Instagram page and his YouTube page too as well. That guy got a lot of stuff that he pump out. I follow his stuff on Instagram. He puts out a lot of stuff before ESPN's and sometimes Fox News and all that stuff. So shout out to you, man. Who else we have? We have Delta Boy 2011 linebacker at safety or nose tackle. Linebacker, of course, we got a Roquan Smith, a Tremaine Edmonds. Safety, of course, we got a Derwin James, a Harris, Ronnie Harris. We got another guy, Deshaun Elliott. We got some guys, Marty Watts. We got some people out there that we possibly could get. Nose tackle. You got some guys out there. I was just saying that you have the Vita Vea, who's top on the board. Anybody else? I'm sitting there saying, maybe you can take a swing at somebody else, but I don't want nobody else, to be honest. If it's Vita Vea or no one, at this point, it could be somebody that show up and show out, but to me personally, from what I can see with my little 2 eyes, I just don't see nobody else that I would do at number 1. Mad Magic Dad. You must not know who my daddy is, right? He said dad. I like that saying. Dad. What's up? Thomas Rivers. Sushi. 817. Linebacker in first round. Now, my only reservation with linebackers, and I must say this, we played 90%, 80%. I think it's 80% in nickel. You only have two linebackers out there on the field. Two, the valuations of linebackers are more and more diminishing, and the reason being is more and more teams are pass happy, right? And when you pass happy, you need somebody that can cover. What are linebackers' natural weakness? Especially on the strong side, they don't cover as well. And the reason why teams are going more to set up with the linebackers is because you can squeeze the safety in, you can squeeze in an extra DB out there on the field, and then you can just say, hey, lock up the pass run. So that's why you get a bigger physical Kevon Frazier out there, or you go draft a Derwin James versus a linebacker. That will be somebody's argument of going with a linebacker in the second or third round, because you say, hey, I got a Derwin James that I can get now, or who I can play, who can play out in space, who can play down on the line, who I can just pretty much flex out anywhere in the slot and things of that nature. Wiggle Bell with the black hands. Shout out to you, man. Is it Payson or Payson? Melber. Hopefully Randy Gregory comebacks. Now Randy Gregory got a band out of this world. He can come off the edge, band, get to the quarterback, and we really been missing that. If you pair that up from last year, what D-Law was doing, Irvin was doing to the inside, and especially D-Law, what he was doing on the outside occasionally, which was like one of the top defensive ends in this league. But if you put Randy Gregory on the opposite side, my God, you'd be saying like Taco who? But neither here nor there. You get Randy Gregory in, and then you season some tacos in there. I mean, you got a very formidable front four. Now, it will be a still rotational deal, and then you have a better play out of Malik Collins too as well. But I'm still looking for that big plug that can be a run stopper, because you still have a liability in Randy Gregory's run stopping approach. Who else we have here in the fray? Alex. Randy Gregory has a great talent, but can we expect him to be the same? Yeah, we can still expect him to be the same. Sushi. Shout out for the donation to help grow the nation, man. I really appreciate it. 21 Sushi. Sushi at 817. I'm saying 21 because I see the jersey, man. Taco, Gregory, Irvin, D-Law. Or you want me to rank those guys? Taco and Gregory, they both ends, of course. D-Law, end, right end, left end. He played the side. Out of the four that's out there, Irvin probably be the biggest, then Law, and then Taco and Gregory, they probably about the same size. Gregory have a natural bend and is a better pass rush. It's just that Gregory can't stay off the weed, man, and the NFL rules and laws and regulations are just so crazy. But give me Gregory over Taco, and give me D-Law over Irving, and but if all of them can stay healthy, teams will have to worry about that, But shout out for you, man, for giving me the donation. I appreciate that. I think pass rush is still super important. It's still super important. In this draft, pass rush is always important. If you can get a guy that can get to the quarterback, and if you get a team to play one-dimensional, whether they try to run it, or if you can take away a run from a team and you have force it in the pass, and you get them to pass, quicker and faster than what they trying to do, then your Jordan Lewis's eat, then your Cheetah Bay Wooziers eat, then your Earl Thomas's eat. You hear that? Your Earl Thomas's. I'm just playing with you. But then your Kevon Frazier's, your Jeff Heath, and I do know Jeff Heath is not the household name of everyone, but Jeff Heath still is the man in my opinion. Law school. Yeah, you guys are going to the D-Law school, right? The combination of D-Law and me, the law school, you get it? Dumbo, yeah, I agree. I'm hoping that Charles Tapper can stay healthy. I forgot all about Charles, We got some pieces, man, but we just still missing. If you look at everybody, we're missing that one person. that big hog that can just block the run lane. You put them, line them up at 0 or at 1, and you just tell them collapse the pocket. We got a lot of finesse guys right now. We need a nasty guy that can put in the middle. YouTube didn't give a notification wiggle bell. Okay, it could be the fact that it's so late, and YouTube probably respect that. That it's about it's 11:11 where I'm at right now. Normally I don't do shows at this time. I just like the hood over my head. I think it looks cool. You think it look cool. Try to look cool, try to look hip a little bit. But Zeke rushed for 1,800 yards, granted, if he play all 16 games. That's Alex Miller. I would like for him to do that. I like for him to play every game. That would be nice. Or did you click on the bell? Or you didn't click on the bell, Sushi. Wiggle bell. God forbid they use, this is from Rachel. God forbid they use something natural for the pain instead of killing themselves. Opiates, and I guess the NFL has a really Rachel out here woke over here, man. You woke. Don't open up the conscious mind, right? Stay woke. You speaking the truth out there. A lot of times, if we think about, certain drugs, right, and certain narcotics, everything have a price tag to it. Everything has a way of this is a capitalistic society, right? So in so many ways is that we do know the pharmaceutical companies are trying to make money. And we do know that the NFL collects money. They all about a profit. That's why the report came out that the October, when everybody wears the pink, and the percentages of the apparel, I want to say, only 3 or 4% goes to the Susie G. Coleman Foundation, and the rest is pocketed. So we understand that, and it's just the nature of the beast, man. Everybody trying to make $1 and plus 15 cents. So with this suspensions of drug abuse and smoking a plant, it's kind of crazy because what they do with that money, are they reinvesting it back into the league? Because he get fined the money, and then they say, okay. It's so many things, man, and the NFL is all about money, and we knows that, in certain teams. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL see a certain player from a certain different team with a negative scoring on a HTC levels or whatever it may be, or marijuana, whatever it may be, and they say, well, we'll turn a blind eye to that. I wouldn't be surprised, but it is what it is, what it is, right? LA Mental, I like that name. What's on your mental? What's good, Law? Everything good every day, brother. Everything's good. Kanye is my dad also. Mad Magic. You can't have more than one dad, I guess, but I guess you can, because you mad. You got that magic. What is it? Turtles. Yo, Law, you should do a film session on D-Ron Payne, since everyone is marking him to the Dallas. I didn't think about doing that, and I like D-Ron. He's a better Tyron Crawford. He to me, and I know somebody gonna say, well, wait a minute, how you know? He never played a step or down in football in the National Football League. You will never know. Trust me, man. He's gonna be a better Tyron Crawford, and that's just the bottom line. Shout out to D. Will Hernandez. I mean, like I said, Will Hernandez is going to help out this offense so much. And to be honest with you guys, the running game helps out the defense. So Will Hernandez will be a defensive pick, although he plays offense, Bruh, this is from Supreme Church Chatch. I like that name, clever. I mean, you guys come up with some clever stuff, man. I like that, man. I like that. Bruh. Draft Derwin Trinidad James. I think we should go defense in the first round. I'm agreeing with you. But like I said, Hernandez will be a defensive pick, although he play offensive guard, meaning that you run the ball more, you on the field more, you taking possessions off the offense on the opposition, so they can't score as much. And my goal is to lead the league or be the number 1 or 2 in possession, time of possession, right? Don't get past happy with Dak Prescott. He's still developing. I know it's be a third year. I know a lot of people saying, well, wait a minute, it's his third year. He better show up now. But, hey, if he can just be a good game manager, help us get to where we need to go, we get closer to the end zone, you give the ball to Zeke. You don't have to really think that much. Give Ezekiel Elliott the ball. That's the best thing that we can do. Wiggle Bell, do we need an offensive coordinator? My thing is with this offensive coordinator, can anybody show me where he won before? I'm listening. Let me know. And I do know somebody gonna pull up 13-3, but let me know where he's won before. That's how I look at it. Holton Hill, Holton Hill is a beast. He may be a late round sleeper because of his outfield temperament and outfield situations. He will be a beast. He may be one of those scrappy guys that can fight out for the position. We can score 30 points a game, but we can't stop no one. We not winning. Yeah, you're right, LA Mental. He putting the stuff out there for the mental mind. He's trying to put things out there to help elevate this team from the mental aspect of everything. And that is possible. If you can get somebody out here that can stop the other team from scoring, and then you can score, that's always a plus. How hard it is to change the playbook. Delta Boy 2011, it is extremely hard for the simple strength. For the simple strength, when you're talking about changing the playbook, you're also talking about changing the philosophy. Now, you can add in some mixtures of plays, but not the entire playbook. And on what side of the ball are you talking about, too, as well? Are you talking about defense or are you talking about offensive line? That plays a major role. Playbooks are huge, man. And you want your team to be able to play without thinking, basically. You want them to just be able to. Now, when you have to pull out a stretch sheet of paper and you say, what's 2 plus 2? That's not good, We know everybody when they was younger, they probably had to do this, not 2 plus 2 used to just jump out at you like 4, or 1 plus 2 is 3. It just didn't jump out to you like that, And that's how you want to be able to read the playbook. You want to be able to say, okay, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. That play right there is 56. That play over there is 94. You want to be able to regurgitate or spit out and push those things out real quickly. Now, can a smart person with a calculator or a smart person with a scratch sheet of paper work the problem and get the answer right? Yes, that is that is possible. Or plausible or whatever, but you want somebody to just be able to spit this thing out, especially Dak Prescott, a third-year quarterback. Pre-snap reads, understanding the defense, and understand what they trying to do, what they're trying to take away, what they're trying to load up the box, or they trying to double cover or bracket covers the receiver. Are they playing inside, outside? There's so many things that you got to craft your mind around, and you got to really pick it up within 3 to 4 seconds. It's not no 30-minute deal that you can just take a test. And to me personally, just think about this. And I'm just going to give you guys so many analogies because it's late. I'm sleepy, I'm tired. But just think about this. Sometimes, and I'm going to say this, sometimes the open book tests are the hardest tests. And those who are still in college or those who are still in high school or middle school, when you get those open book tests, sometimes they be the hardest ones because you're sitting there saying, I got all the answers right here. I know the answer. I just can't find the answer, and I'm looking through the pages. I'm looking through the playbook. You see what I'm saying? But that pop quiz without the open book, you just shoot through it. If you know it. If you know it, you just shoot through it and you get an A every time. And that's just how you got to roll with it, man. You just got to have this non-open book test, and you got to study. You got to know what your craft is. You got to understand, okay, this is what they trying to teach me, and this is what I'm going to take away from it. But you can't go to history class spitting mathematics, and you can't go to mathematics class or algebra speaking history. Those two things just don't correlate. And I know I'm just trying to give you guys a viewpoint of how I think or how I look at things. Deshaun Elliott, Duran Elliott, that would be a nice name. Deshaun Elliott, D. Will, I guess, that would be nice. If one has to go, which one will we get rid of? Offensive coordinator or DC? The writing is always, I'll say always, the writing is already on the wall. You got Rob Marinelli that, quote unquote, this may be his last year. You have, you already have a Chris Richards that's in the mix. One can argue and say, hell, just depending on what Jason Garrett do this year, one can say, well, hey, Chris Richards may be groomed to be the head coach. Who knows? I doubt it, but that could be possible. That could be something that they're trying to do. And so to me personally, although the defense been ranked 8th overall, they've been doing solid. They've been doing their thing. They improve every year since Rob Marinelli been here. That's a plus. That's always something that you have to really pat yourself on the back on. So improvement is always granted, right? We're always looking at somebody who can just improve themselves and elevate themselves too as well. And regardless of the situation, whether or not you're losing everybody, but improvement is always key. And so I would say that the offensive coordinator have his 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I know it took me forever to pull that up. See, Mad Magic think just like me. There you go. There you go. Late night Cowboys talk. And remember, you guys are listening to the Late Night Cowboys Hour, right? OBJ won't be able to play here in Dallas because he will be suspended all the time. Man, you speaking the truth. Not everybody can handle the truth. A lot of people are looking at the aspect of saying, okay, Odell Beckham, we can have him. We won't have him. Those pictures, the off the field shenanigans and making love to the net. If you think it's blown up in New York, you can only imagine what they'll do down here in the Big D. Would you like Lovie Smith as a head coach? This is from D. Will. I think Lovie Smith would probably still be cool, but I'm leaning more towards a Jim Harbaugh. The Titans on Netflix. It's a waste of time. Listen to Law Nation instead. Hey, salute to No Dak Ninja. I appreciate that. Got an Instagram? Yeah, it should be in the description box, man. Hit me on Instagram up. I got it's more people in this chat box than I probably have Instagram followers, believe it or not. I don't get no love on Instagram, but it's all good. Yeah, church. Tyrone Church, man, what's up? You here? You in live in the flesh? Take me to church. We don't need OBJ. You're right. Shane. Now OBJ would be nice as far as marketing and sales. He would splash all of the ratings. And then you think about it, you got Ezekiel Elliott and Odell Beckham. I mean, that would be nice as far as from a marketing aspect of it. Hell, Jerry Jones, knowing him, he would get rid of Dez Bryant and put Odell Beckham in number 88 jersey. It's crazy stuff that like that with Jerry Jones would do. But that's neither here nor there. He learned from law school. Yeah, appreciate it. We have to address that backup quarterback. This is from Dom. Hey, what happened to the Cooper Rush love, right? And You got the Johnny Manziels out there. You're talking about Jerry Jones, right? You got Johnny Manziel. You have the other guy that everybody, Colin Kaepernick. Would you rather have a Cooper Rush or Colin Kaepernick or Johnny Manziel, RG3? I got a whole bunch of people out there. And you're trying to fix your team around the fact that I want to be PC, I want to be political. So it's a slippery slope. You try to figure out what you want out there as a backup quarterback. And then on top of that, I'm not saying that you coddled Dak Prescott in a sense, but this will be his third year. He's only signed for the team for 4 years. And this is a make-it-break year for him. So we will see. But, yeah, Kellen Moore, the backup quarterback, he be the player coach, what have you. Give my boy some love on Instagram. Supreme, appreciate it, man. But I don't post that much on Instagram, basically. I have a personal Instagram page, with over 1,000 people. But my Laws Nation Instagram, garbage, we need veterans. Navarro Bowman from Mad Magic said we need veterans. And from Ray, Navarro Bowman will be a great pickup. Navarro Bowman pickup or signing would be good because him and Sean Lee played together before, right? And then you put in the mix of Jaylon Smith learning from a guy that played in the NFL from two studs. That's a plus. It's a plus all across the board. But will Jerry Jones pull the trigger? Will he go back and then say, okay, this guy is getting long in the tooth. He's been injured for the last few years. Why will I need him? Why would I waste my money on that? Knowing that Jerry Jones probably don't crunch the tape and look at everything that he can do as far as out there in the field. We should get Cap, and that way Dak goes down. The offense won't lose a step. That's for Wiggle Bell. In a pinch, yeah, that would work, but on the opposite side of things, Jerry Jones got so many things as far as from a political aspect out here in Texas. Think about this. He got to appease a lot of people, and a lot of people are not ready to be woken on the situation of what Colin Kaepernick was standing for and what he was going through. And a lot of people just only look at the antics and not look at the actual message. And we get that in society, and that's understandable too as well. So a lot of people will worry about the peas and forget the meat. He got more peas than me, but you got a bigger piece of meat right here. And a lot of people fall into that trance of mind, and a lot of people collectively, I'm just speaking collectively, wouldn't understand the message and wouldn't understand what it takes to be a person of my hue, a person of my skin tone. I used to tell people all the time, the biggest fear a brother have is getting behind a wheel of a car with your tail light out. You may not come home the next night, and it's not to say whether or not it's going to be a white officer that pull you over. It could be any officer, in general. Police brutality, police things like that always scares the hell out of me too as well. We've been through a lot of situations like that. I'm from Mississippi, and I go through a lot of stuff when I was living in that state. And one can argue and say, well, hell, now you're in Texas, so shit, then nothing will change, But the thing is, you should never let your circumstances supplant your mindset, and how you can control that would be just be as positive as you can be. Officer pulled me over. I say, "Good day, sir. Good night. How you doing?" Beat him to the punch. Before I never forget. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I was pulled over because I didn't have my seatbelt on, and the officer was walking to my car, and he said, "Do you know?" I said, "Thank God, officer. Thank you so much for pulling me over, man. You reminded me that I needed my seatbelt on." And he was saying, and I beat him to the punch before he said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And with that, just being honest with him, he was just saying, okay, let me just get your license and stuff like that. Cool. Gave him my license, said thank you for what he's doing. He came back and said, hey, Mr. Thomas, next time just keep your seatbelt on. I'm gonna let you go. Holla, you know what I'm saying? Or I could have changed the whole situation when he pulled me over and be like, man, why you pulling me over, man? You see, I'm just not leaving out here. Why you follow me? It could have been these people are people too, And I believe that so much in society. I don't look like everybody. I'm a minority. Not a lot of people look like me. Not a lot of people voice is deep like mine, right? Not a lot of people had a tenacity and a fortitude of the mind, right? So if you start speaking stuff like that, you start talking rah stuff, then these people are people too. They're getting tired. They're probably tired of working a 10-hour, 12-hour shift. And I'm not trying to get anybody an excuse to do anything for themselves, but to do anything that's negative towards someone. But what I'm saying is, I think that xenophobia plays a lot of big stuff, and you should never let xenophobia fall into the fray. But the fear of the unknown, they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, you start looking around. You just look around. F political. We haven't been in the Super Bowl in how long? Wiggle Bell. I mean, politics, man, plays a major role in that too as well. If you look at half of the rules that have been changed, it's all around what the actual, it sound like sarcasm to the officer when you said that. Should have left the car and said what the F and da 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 da. Yeah. Man, I'm just giving food for thoughts, man. It works for some, don't work for anybody, What works for me might not work for the next guy, But, I stay prayed up, man. I always pray, man. And I always thank God for everything. I know a lot of people say, hey, they don't believe in God until that gun is to their face. And say, oh, Lord, help me, So I always look at that aspect of it, too, as well, Jason Witten is the best tight end. D. Will, I think Jason Witten is a better tight end than most, but at this time, for this offense, we need a tight end who can take the field vertically. That would help out on so many things, man. Just a tight end that can run a seam route. Then you won't be able to have your safeties. You won't have your linebackers sitting down on the route. They're going to have to be worried a little bit, and they're going to have to either play them up tight press. And what that does, they open up the reverse sweep. They open up the number 2 receiver. It opened up a lot of things, man. Mm-hmm. Jerry is how old? Jerry is old, man. Jerry's way old. Cowboys head by brother was popping law. I don't know that. Salute. Law Nation, Ron Smith, shout out to you, man. Dak needs more targets, not just one. Dez Bryant. What will help Dez Bryant out is just somebody else on the opposite side that can take over a game. A la maybe I could throw in T. Will's Kansas City game. He showed up and showed out. And then maybe I could throw in the Bryce Butler's Arizona game. Those are the only 2 games that come into mind, If anybody else know any other game in last year that the number 2 receiver stepped up and showed out, then let me know. Just let me know. Whitney is slow as a turtle. Whitney is slow, man. More RPOs and play actions. That will work out. But the conservatism, if I can make that a word, of Jason Garrett, will he be able to call those right plays out? Dak was better when Dez was out. That's from Delta Boy 2011. Dak was more when you are a quarterback, you're forcing something, or just in anything in life, when you're trying to force something, that he was just trying to all day trying to force it to Dez. But when you force things in life, it never worked. You got to be able to just be, okay, sound in, tune in, stay in tune, okay, and say, okay, when I hike this ball off, I'm going to pass it to the receiver that's open. I'm not going to pass it to the guy that I'm trying to force it to. And I think that's just Dak Prescott game. Now one can say, well, he can't hit water if he fell out of the boat. Well, you don't need that. You don't need that every time. Look at the Brad Johnson. Don't he have a Super Bowl? Trent Differs. Don't he have a Super Bowl? The Joe Flacco's. I was looking at the. I can't wait to really do that. Probably this weekend. I'm gonna repost it, and I'm gonna have live feedback of me going over what Colin Cowherd said about Dak Prescott. You know, a good clip, man, on YouTube. I'm thinking about working something like that. You know. Ron Smith, hey Law Nation, I still say we need to honor Cowboys for sure and beef up the offensive line. What do you think? I mean, we can still beef up the offensive line, but we have to realize that the philosophy of this team is if you're going to do that, you get a Hernandez, run the ball, do what made you get there. You know, don't get all the way to the goal line, money zone, and then say to yourself, well, I'm going to try to pass it and force feed the ball to a certain receiver. Just run it on in there. It's not going to look cute, but you're going to win. You're going to have a W in the win column. You're going to go to the playoff. And if you have that same philosophy and you understand this is the strength of my team, you stick with it, and you can say, well, okay, they got me to the playoff. Now I got a formidable defense that can take the ball away from the opposition. That smells Super Bowl. You run this ball beyond, what's the magical number for Ezekiel Elliott? 25 carries. You run this ball 25 carries and you say, okay, 25 to 30 carries, this is what I'm gonna give my running back. But I want to be able to preserve him a little bit, so I get a Jameis Olawale. I like what I saw last year, so I run the ball a little bit more with Rod Smith. Those are ways that you can key in and get this thing helped out, you know, as far as your quote-unquote offense. And by you running the ball, it also helps your defense out because, one, your defense not out there, they won't be lag. And then for two, the opposition, they'll still be kind of cold. They don't have their blood flowing yet, you know. They still ain't ready to get hit, things like that. The quarterback going to be off because he don't have his blood flowing, you know, and stuff like that. That's what help out with this team. James Washington, a Cowboy. This from D. Will. I don't know. You know. Shout out to Barry B, man. Big Law. Thank you, man. Salute to you. I have my reservations on James Washington. I think James Washington, like my guy from Silver and Blue Nation, you guys don't forget to go out and follow their page. Don't forget to follow DDP's page too as well, the Dallas Prospect. What I want to say about James Washington is that they said they physically got a chance to saw James Washington, and they said he's really built like a running back. From their eyes, you know, they saw him in the I guess the underwear Olympics, the whatever you call it, the combine, you know. James Washington is Dez clone. Okay. God Imperial, man, what's up? Dak pay cut, F Dez over, you know. Dak pay cut. Pay cut, F Dez over. I don't know, man. We will find out soon. This is third year, so we'll find out soon, you know. And then, of course, we can't be saying, oh, man, we'll find out soon. This is fourth year. No, he got to show some type of progress within this year. And I will be the one that will get out there and say, hey, you know, I will start chastising him a little bit, you know, or a lot of it. However, you know, I want Derwin James. I want him too, Barry B. I am real. Me too. I'm real too, right? I like that name, man. You guys come up with some clever names. I like that. You think they should draft a second running back? Yeah. Yeah, in this draft, if you can go out and get a running back, not in the first round or second or third or maybe in the fourth round, you go get somebody. Justin Quarles, keep up the great work, Law Nation. Oh, man, thank you for the donation to help grow the nation, man. You know, I dance when we get this money, man. I will have a backdrop of music, but I'm just too tired to get everything going. But you can just imagine a song that I'm dancing to, right? Or I'm just rocking, just rocking with it, just like a boxer stand. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you, salute, man, for making the donation, man. I really appreciate that. Maybe late we had the J High guy. Yeah, Maxwell, the J High. I don't think he was a fourth round guy. I think he was undrafted. And the problem with J Hod is he got cursed with those hamstrings, hamstrings, and that's what his problem. Uh, Money dance, yeah, money moves, Gary does preach his competitions, Dom. Oh, yeah. I think he does, Dom. D. Ron Payne from D. Will. If he's there, if we get him, I won't pitch a tent. But if Will Hernandez is there, or a Derwin Trinidad is there, James, and if my guy Vita Vea is there, you better not go grab no Derwin Payne. You better not do that. Jaylon Smith is like a Ray Lewis, yeah, or like a Ray Lewis. I mean, he don't have the dog, from a vocal aspect of a Ray, but as far as his skill set out there on the field, I can see where you're coming from on that. Cleveland Brown. Oh man, let's all talk about this race and politics. What's this, ESPN? Just kidding. Now ESPN go overboard with it, and I think that in their time slots, they really can't get everything out like they supposed to, and they really trying to appease a certain, or they trying to make certain people mad about it. But I'm gonna just tell you the real, man. I ain't gonna have no. Look, I'm a black guy, man, from Mississippi, and I've seen pretty much just about everything, But I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. I'm not gonna be out here like those conscious people, just all out here like Bro Polite and Young Pharaoh and all this stuff, man. I mean, my thing is right here, everybody granted 24 hours a day, and hell, if you look outside, there's no 1, 2 trees that look alike. You got grape tree, you got a pear tree, you got all these different type of trees. And my thing is, the gazelles run with the gazelles, and the zebras run with the zebras. So you got to figure out how to finesse your stuff so that you can get ahead in life. The name of the game right now is education. You educate yourself to elevate yourself. If you don't know nothing, then you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So that's the main thing. So get a book, read it. Don't allow somebody else to tell you what to read. You go out and read yourself. Just like with this game of life, talking about football. You're not going to sit back and listen to every announcer or what they say. You're not going to sit back and listen to what Stephen A. say or Skip Bayless say and take that for the Bible. What you want to do is you're going to say, okay, all right, Stephen A. said that, okay. Skip Bayless said that, or this an analyst or this analysis or whoever, said that. Let me go out and watch the tape myself. I'm going to study thyself worthy. I'm going to study for myself and see what they talking about, And it's just the same thing is with life, with anything that you do. You study for yourself. And you go out there and say, okay, I'm going to evaluate the situation. Okay. Bam. I had mad for Michael Smith. I was mad for Michael Smith. He left ESPN. I mean, those guys out there that was on ESPN, they should sell the writing on the wall from the beginning. If I was those guys, man, they can get a following. Man, they could have started up a YouTube page, start up their own business, man. Make that money, man. Don't let somebody else count your paper, man. That's all I have to say on that aspect of it, Christian Kirk got speed for Beasley. Christian Kirk do have a lot of speed. Ron Smith. Your room is bad. No Cowboy stuff in the background. This is from Delta Boy 2011. Yeah, I just moved to the area, and it is very bare. I don't have no Cowboy stuff, and I have a green screen. Whereas I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can drag this thing over here. See this green screen right here? that screen, I could put myself in China if I want to, but neither here nor there. I'm planning on getting a PO box, man, so people can send me stuff, send me your favorite stuff or your least favorite stuff, and I'll put it on the wall so that the wall can't be naked, But leave my wall alone, man. My wall cool. Game changer, man. It is 11:46. Okay, what's up? All my black people I like on ESPN got fired. Okay. All the black people that you liked on ESPN got fired. I feel you, man, Law, what's your 40 now? I don't know. Hell, I probably be like a 5'2" now and shoot, 5 flat. I can still run though. I still challenge you. I still challenge you. I won't back down. Now, come on, man. If I see you at the draft, I run a 40 with you, and I will win. I guarantee. My specialty was the 800 though, and we'll see. I'm a 4.3 on the 40. You talking about drinking the 40, fam? Cleveland Brown show. Cowboys X Factor. When I'm at the draft, I want y'all to come find me. We'll lace them up, man. We'll see who's the fastest, who's faster than Law Nation. And it don't matter what time of day you see me, or when I'm on. You know what I mean? If I had a bottle of Hennessy. Not a whole bottle, but if I had a drink or something, I still race you. Law, I would jog on you, dog. You not ready. Man, come on. You wish you had this speed. Come on, man. You ain't ready? Come on, you ain't ready. Shoot me a video of your 40. We'll meet up somewhere around here in whatever you are close by. We'll see who can run. You know what I mean? Sure. At my age, I can still knock out 40 push-ups straight. Law, who's the best wide receiver in the draft, in your opinion? Receivers are so fickle. The best big big wide receiver would be, to me, the Sutton guy. The best elusive, quick, quirky little guy. He can squirt out and get to the edge and fly upfield. That'd probably be your Christian Kirk. He's one of the better outside guys. Now your best polished receiver, like you don't have to pretty much worry about everything, is your Calvin Ridley. He's polished. If you ever pick up a rock, those smooth little rocks, that's who Calvin Ridley is. Now your X-File receiver, oh wow, he's just not of this planet. DJ Moore, Kiki QT is probably be your best surprise guy. I mean, he's not as big as 180 pounds, but he surprised you with his speed. And I do know that he didn't run good in the 40, but his 3 cones were pretty good. And I think that his ability to understand leverage out there in the field plays a lot of things too as well. So he's a surprise guy. DJ Chalk, I think that his height and measurable is pretty good. Pettis is pretty good. So you got so many things, man. Some people said St. Brown. So we'll see. We'll see how they compete against NFL level. Put it like that. We'll know more around OTAs, training camp, and we'll hear a little noise, and then we'll see by week 3 who's the best wide receiver in this draft. But to me personally, all around, it would be Calvin Ridley. I said all that to say that, right? Players man. Who's man, Steven? Benton? I can't say that man's name. Michael McKenzie. I can't say that name. I probably can if I put my mind to it. DJ Moore is my guy, Joe. Shout out to Joe. Gibby 252 drunk as F. Can't wait to the Amazon show trailer. Was good as F. Yeah. Gibby, slow down a little bit, man. Tell me what you're drinking on, and I'll come join you. Just call him EQ, Law. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Call him EQ. Dez studies Jerry Rice. Dez studied Jerry Rice. Every receiver that plays football should study Jerry Rice. That should be like a giving go-to guy because he was able to play a long career. He wasn't the fastest guy. I think Jerry Rice ran a 4.6, but he studied it. He knew leverage. The person that reminds me closer to Jerry Rice to this day now is your guy that plays for the Arizona, Larry Fitzgerald. He kind of reminds me a little bit of his route runs, the way he runs, this cerebral approach to things. Yeah, I'll be at the draft. I'll be there. Be there or be swear. Dez is 6'5", in his dream. Dez probably can jump like he's 6'5". Dez Bryant is more around 6'2.5", 6'3"-ish. And he started off at 220, but he's like 215. He slimmed down a little bit. Every time I see Law, he looks like James Harden with that beard. I think, yeah. A lot of people say that, man. Yo, man, you James Harden, man. You James Harden, When I shave the beard off, I'm somebody else, Just depending on who's seeing me. Dak is the next Warren Moon. I can see that. I think Dak is a little bit more elusive than Warren Moon, and Warren Moon was a little tad bit more aggressive passing the ball down the field, but from a cerebral approach, from the way they took the game, yes. But Warren Moon did have some off the field shenanigan problems with a young lady, so I hope that Dak Prescott never had those issues. Hopefully. Laugh out loud. He does look like James Harden, right? It's from Dom. Harden looks like Law. Yeah, you're right. James Harden better respect his elders. Most of I do. No, I'm sorry, but it just look just like an Asian, Most do. I'm sorry, Yeah, most brothers do look alike, I guess, from y'all perspective. This is what it is. Law's beard is more clean and cut, though. Yeah, you gotta keep it clean. Rachel, what are you going on about? Rachel, what are you going on about? That's from somebody. Where you at, Rachel? What you talking about? I don't see what you are saying. What are we discussing here, family? Man, I'm everywhere, man. Joe, I'm everywhere. We were discussing. Somebody reel me back in. I go off into the deep end. Reel me back in. Let's see. Law Nation, if I beat you in the race, you'll shave off your beard. Yeah, I'll shave it off. But my beard grows back in 3 to 4 days. Off topic on his beard, I guess, Rachel. Not all black people look alike. I agree. Hey, Law, what's going on? I'm from the future. You should know, man. You from the future. But nah, nothing much. Let me see what the topic was about. Anyway, let me see if I can go really back in. Oh, I said, so what? Let's go Cowboys, right? That was the main topic of the show. I put that topic in there because we didn't make no free agent signs this week, and what I was talking about is what let's go Cowboys, from the simple fact of what we should do during the draft and what we should do for as far as the free agency after the draft, and people threw out the topic. Who should be a good backup quarterback for Dak Prescott, and what happened if Dez Bryant is cut, and who we should pick up, things of that ilk, right? Now, if we can go back to pretty much Man, lost focus again. It's late. I can blame it on that. If we can go back, what was I talking about? Somebody help me out. All right, I tell you what. One of you guys find me something to talk about. Weed is greater than beer. Not that topic, man. We got to keep it PG-13. I think some races look more similar. You guys talking about the race? The race is not to the swift nor the battle to the strong, right? Y'all talking about the actual race of people. Eric Reed and Cap, black fists up. DMV keeps reaching the offensive line in the first round, but sacks allowed in 2016 were 28, and 2017 was 32. Those numbers, I can see what you're coming from, with the sacks allowed and what they are now. But the thing is, 2017, we played a lot of pass rushers. In 2016, we didn't have no near close to the schedule that we had. And although we had a lot of more sacks, was it more sacks this year? I don't know. Joe, you said, what do I think about Okoye's thoughts on Dez? The thing is with Dez, I'm going to break this down for a lot of people. I like Dez, but I just don't like $16 million a year Dez. And I would prefer $8 million or $7 million a year. And I know some people argue the fact that Dez should be pretty much so paid more. Somebody said that. And then somebody said you should train or sign Dez to a 2-year extension. Extend out the contract. And that way you can minimize the salary cap hit, and when you have them for an extra 2 years, and I mean that will be 2 more years of Dez, and one can say the writing is on the wall. If I'm Dez, I'm trying to say I won't sign that because I want to get the max of my money. But if Dez is a real trooper, then he'll sign something like that. And say, okay, I extend my contract, and that make the salary cap down to 4, but you have to worry about me for an extra 2 years. That could be possible, but I don't see Dez doing that type of thinking out there on the field. So my thing is with Desmond Bryant is that I'm not putting him in a category of a T.O. or Ocho Cinco. But he's damn near knocking on the door of those guys, and I do know a lot of people say, well, he's talking about passion when he's having his outbursts on the field. I lost a little faith in Dez, man, when I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks game. We was up 6-0, and he was just complaining about not getting the ball. Those things always kind of worries me from a sense that when I had my coach, he would say, hey, you pounding on the sideline, you can save that energy and put that towards the field. And my only thing is with Dez, it's little small nuances like that. Now, this will be his 3rd year, and Dez Bryant 3rd year with Tony Romo, his 3rd and 4th year, his numbers elevated. So hopefully, and I mean hopefully, that Dak Prescott can figure out a way to find some type of rapport, some type of continuity with Dez Bryant, and they can find ways to get the ball out to each other. Now, if he have any year close to what he had in 2017, then of course he's out the door. One can argue and say, well, his numbers were fantastic and great when Tony Romo was throwing him the ball. And I must agree. Tony Romo at the time was a 9-year vet. You're not going to get that out of Dak Prescott. And you're not going to get that out of 2015. Brandon Wheatons and Matt Castles and the guy that's our quarterback coach now. You're just not going to get that. So my thing is, peace out, Ron Smith. Appreciate you for joining in to the show. And see you on the next day or next go around. It's just one of those things, man. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't go back and say, well, we want to Sean and Sully and excoriate and get rid of Dak Prescott because he's not getting the ball to Dez. But in 2015, You will dream and scheme, and you will wish that you had a Dak Prescott, somebody who can just really just win you a game, regardless of the situation. So my thing is this right here, with Dak Prescott to Dez. You want somebody that can grow with your quarterback. And I really think that the pieces that surround is pretty much small writings on the wall. Now, if they do decide, if the Cowboys make a big mistake to me, with the 19 pick, if they go grab a wide receiver. And the reason being is you just don't win in the National Football League as it relates to playoffs and Super Bowl with the wide receiver. It makes you look good because you're going to just be able to probably win some games, exciting games, because the wide receiver took the top off the defense or the wide receiver scored 3 touchdowns. It's going to look like it's a good pick. But a good solid pick would be, like I said, like a Vita Vea or Will Hernandez, somebody that can just stay on your team for maybe 10 to 15, well, not 15 years, maybe 9 to 10 years on your team, and they're going to help push back the pocket, or they're going to help block for your running back, and you don't have to worry about that. But a wide receiver is just so fickle. And think about this: the Cowboys got to really horn in on this first pick, because this pick means everything with the new CBA agreement. Meaning that this first pick that you get in the 19th pick is good for 5 years. You get the 5-year contract deal with them, the rookie's contract, and that's like buying cheap labor. And that's what I'll lean towards. I'll lean towards somebody that I know I can maximize them within more than 5 years. No more Manziel. Yeah. Franklin. We went corner and linebacker last year. Oh, lineman, I meant to say. It's 5-year contracts with the with those picks. I like the strategy too. What tackle would you take if we didn't get Vita? Tackle. There's some guys out there. I was leaning more towards Isaiah Wynn if we go with like a defensive guy. I know Isaiah Wynn won't last that long. I think that's what you're talking about. Are you talking about nose tackle, Rachel, or are you talking about actual defense side of the ball? Dez Bryant in the house. Law Nation love to make speeches about me. Yeah, and I'll tell it to your face. Actually, Dez Bryant, you stay right down the street from me, and you can come by the house and we'll talk and we'll chop it up just like no other. But the thing is, with that, Dez Bryant, is the fact that you are the explosive guy. You can run good intermediate, small, short routes. But to help you out and to help this team out, what best this team would be somebody that could take the top off the defense, an extra defensive guy too as well. And how can you get that? By lowering your salary somehow, some way. Not saying that you need to be cut, not saying that you need to go and things of that ilk. But what I'm saying is, what can help the team out in order to win? And if you look at any Super Bowl team that won the championships in the last 5 to 6 years, maybe I can throw in 7 years now, there were no wide receiver making your type of money that was on those rosters. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And the way you got to win in the National Football League is, for one, you got to have your team balanced more so than anything. And if you don't have that deal out there, then it will never happen. I would rather have Laws Nations give me the ball. I mean, I wish I could, man. I would give you the ball. And, hey, D-Rob showing you some things, man. He's right down the street, too, as well. D-Rob is one of those guys. He's the funny part about it. I talked to D-Rob the other day. And D-Rob is also working out Christian Kirk right now. He's not stopping, So my thing is with Dez Bryant is that it's his 9th year, 7th year, 8th year, whatever his year it is, he will have to step it up. And so do Dak Prescott. Oh, my God, I can go on and on and on what Dak Prescott need to step it up on. But why aren't we getting Earl Thomas, Law Nations? This is from AJ Boy Trill. I'm calling it, man. I think Earl Thomas is going to be a draft day trade. I think draft is in Dallas. I think that Jerry Jones, the marketeer that he is, the guy that knows how to push the buttons, he's going to figure out a way to wheel and deal, because at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks would be foolish to let him play for a team all this year that he really already lamented the fact that he want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. It'd be foolish to get rid of him at the end of the year next year and don't get nothing from him. Not saying that he get a first and a third, but deadlines make deals. And when that third round come around and that fourth round come around and we say, come on, man, give us Earl. We'll eat that $10 million. Give us Earl, and they might make a move for it. And that's how I like, pull them up like Huggies. Yeah, Law Nation. Dez Bryant studied Jerry Rice, bro. That's D. Will. Yeah. Every wide receiver should study Jerry Rice. Dez will be good to go. Domino. Dez better be good to go. Dez come back like a monster. Yeah, he better eat. We want him to eat. I want everybody. And think about it. Think about this, guys. If Dez show his you-know-what out, everybody be throwing up the X, And hell, they might make out another movie talking about Wakanda for life, Dez Bryant, That was need to happen. Trade T. Will for Earl. I'm from the future. Reason why they can't trade a broken down look, the reason why they can't trade T. Will for Earl is because T. Will got a 4 to 6 month injury, and he's gonna go on the injury reserve. So think about the blah 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 blah. The Seattle Seahawks, they wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want to trade for a guy that can play for a guy that's not playing and don't have really an upside. The best move for T. Will to do is get rested, get healthy, get up, get everything going as far as his health, and just take his time in coming back. He's going to be gone for a majority of the season. No law say, come on, man, get Johnny. That's from Deshaun. I don't know. I'm not going to touch that. Who else? Simus. If Dez have a good season, you would eat crow. You would have been throwing light shade at my bro Dez 88. Look, I would challenge anybody that's in the chat box, the crow or the light shade that I'm throwing at Dez Bryant. Let me know, cause I've been saying the same thing over and over again. I don't want Dez cut, but I would rather for him to have a pay cut. Put it like this, and I challenge anybody out there to do their homework and study and watch tape for themselves. When was the last time a $16 or $17 million receiver won a Super Bowl? I'll wait, I'll listen, I'll reach in my pocket, I'll put my money where my mouth at. Just let me know. How valuable would you have a Ferrari where you can't afford to put the gas in it? You know what I'm saying? How valuable is your Ferrari? If you got a sports car, if you can't really use it. What I'm saying is, sometimes you just have to walk yourself back and say, you know what, this car is too expensive for me. How valuable will it be to get a 10,000 square foot home when you can only pay mortgage one time for it? You got to think collectively smart with your mind and just don't stop thinking like, I do know a lot of people get emotional with this Dez Bryant talk, but my thing is, and a lot of people, Dez Bryant been playing football for 8 to 7 years, like 7 to 8 years now. That's a long lifetime. So that means somebody that's in their 20s, that's all they know, who's 29, now, 28, that's all they know is Dez. Somebody that's 10 years old who just now finally got their driver's license, finally been able to drive around Texas. That's all they seen their whole entire life is Dez Bryant running the dig, running the shallow, running the routes, throwing up the X. I know that people will have emotional ties to that. I've been there, lived through that, seen that before, had the popcorn. We can see those type of things. We can talk back and forth on somebody who's 10 years old right now, that's 17 years old, that's in the chat box saying Dez Bryant is life. And I can understand that. I'll be willing to fight for him too as well. And when your superhero goes down, you figure out everything, every fiber in your being, your mind, your heart, your soul, your sinew to say, hey, everybody else is wrong, but the person that's sitting behind the wheel is not. And the thing is, and like I said before, I love Dez Bryant. I would tell him in his face, I love Dez Bryant. But there's nowhere in life you go back and look at Dez Bryant and say, okay, the outbursts, the temper tantrums that you threw on the sidelines against the Seattle Seahawks when you was up winning and leading at 6-0. There's no way. If somebody could just sit me down and say, hey, Law, what Dez Bryant demonstrated was all positive. It was all good for the team. It was good for the morale. And even if we won the game anyway, it would have been still a loss because the other team won. So don't worry about that. Then I'll shut the world up, But by me physically playing football, by me physically playing sports, by me having a coach that was like world class, that's down there in Natchez, little small, little town, little state, Natchez, Mississippi, we won numerous state titles, championships, and he was just one of those guys that was like, even along with the rankings of Eddie Robinson on a high school level, right? Who says, if you want to throw a temper tantrum, if you want to have an outburst, whether it's positive or negative like that on the sideline, then you should be a cheerleader. We don't need that out there. You can hold that energy and put that out in the field. Because that's when we need you. We need people out here that going to make things happen. And that's why I get the three sayings from. There's three type of people out there. People that watch things happen, people that make things happen, and a person that say, yeah, man, what just happened? When you focus and you have your mind, you're driven, your goal, there's nothing in this world can stop you from getting the goal that you want. Whether it's not, to me personally, I drive me a sports car. You guys know I like to have a 160 on the dash. When I get behind that car, I know for sure that my car is paid for. Everything that I put in that car is mine. I don't put no 87 cheap unleaded gas in there. I put 93 in there. You know what I'm saying? My whole thought track, I'm making money. The thing is, I don't even want to get on that aspect. I'm making money right now before we even talk. I invest. I put money in stocks because guess what? When I'm 65, 70 years old, I won't be that guy. I'm telling myself right now, I refuse to be that guy that's in Walmart talking about paper or plastic or, hey, man, slow down. Hey, I got to check your receipt. You got to preposition yourself in life to be where you want. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that Dez Bryant didn't preposition himself in his life to be where he's at now. But right now, the writing is on the wall. There's no way in life, your 7, your 8, your 9th career, that you got a D-Rob guy showing you how to run digs routes, showing you how to work on your technique, working on your craft. You're supposed to reach out to that guy year 1, year 2, year 3. I'm trying to better my best. People say you studied it great. You studied it great like the Jerry Rices of the world. You got to get out there and run the hills. And I'm not saying that Dez Bryant didn't do those things, because I'll be foolish to say those things, right? But what I'm saying is, right now, I would tell people right now, if you want anything in life, you got to fight for the things that you want. That's all I'm saying. And if it's being the leader of a soccer team, or if it's being a coach out there, you got to fight for it. And you got to understand that even if in the midst of somebody being in your way, whether it's the quarterback not throwing you the ball there accurately, or whether or not it's the coaching that's not calling the right passing plays, you have to go back into the tunnels of your mind and say, okay, what next do I need to do in order to help elevate this team? Instead of being a distraction, how can I be a positive thing? You know what I'm saying? I might not. It's 12:15 where I'm at right now, so I might not be saying it correctly. But it's one of those things where I can look at somebody, and Dez is not 35. I'm 35, and Dez is not 35. He's younger than me. And I can look at somebody and I can tell, okay. And I know somebody's going to be like, oh, well, I'm 45, I'm 55, I'm 65. But as a 35-year-old male, I can look at somebody and say, okay, when you are having those type of outbursts, just like when you have a child, and you can know when that child is not doing everything impossible in their being to make things elevate, right? And sometimes you can just look at somebody and say, man, this person can be better. They got talent and skills within themselves that they're not meeting their potentials because they live in off of past history. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand that when somebody can look at somebody and see those things. And I'm not trying to call myself a czar or somebody who can just look and read palms and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm saying is that sometimes when you're talking about Dak Prescott temperament and you're talking about Ezekiel Elliott temperament, we can look at Ezekiel Elliott and say, a lot of people looked at Ezekiel Elliott and said, man, this guy's eventually going to get suspended. Just by naturally looking at the guy. This guy, when he gets to the NFL, he's going to go through these situations. Dez Bryant, when he got drafted, somebody can look at him and say, okay, the way he's handling himself right now, and granted, Dez Bryant been a model citizen off the field, and Dez Bryant been a great guy donating and giving barbecues and all this stuff there, here and there. But somebody can still say, man, there's some shortcuts that he's taking that's going to eventually come out and bite him on a you-know-what. And people say the same thing about Chris Carter. And Chris Carter is one of Dez Bryant's biggest critics. But guess what helped elevate Chris Carter towards the latter part? Was a Randy Moss, somebody who can help him take the ball off the field. But at the same time, it just goes that way, guys. And I hate to say that, Sometimes you can look at a player and say, okay, this is what he's going to become. And then sometimes you can be wrong, but 9 times out of 10, the film don't lie, and what you see out there on the film and tape and what you evaluate with your eyes just will tell the true story. And when you see stuff that plays left out there on the field, then you'll say that. Now, just like I can tell with Dak Prescott, we understand that sometimes when he throws the ball, he gets sloppy in his mechanics. And then sometimes you can say to yourself, okay, even in the midst of the troubles of what Dak Prescott went through all last year, the team and Dak Prescott still was fighting towards the ball, running extra, boiling over people, trying to get to the first down. And then we look at Ezekiel Elliott. Anybody that watch football and knows people in general, when they looked at Ezekiel Elliott, I'm talking about all last year. If you just know Ezekiel Elliott, you knew that he had a heavy burden just sitting over his chest. Well, heavy on his chest, I meant to say, had a dark cloud about him. You know what I mean? He wasn't the Ezekiel Elliott of 2016. And if anybody say, well, look at the stats, he had a declined year. Yeah, he did, of course. The NFL was just having this cloud over this kid's head. And if anybody would just look at him and say, hey, man, he's not the same guy that he was 2016. He is having a lot of pressure on him. Do he still have the same skill set? Do he still have the same temperament? Yeah. But he had a lot of stuff on his chest and had a lot of stuff on his mind. But a lot of people who just sitting there just saying, looking at all I had to say on that, man. But I don't know where the tailgate's going to be. We trying to find out some places, Cecil. But we will let you know. Aaron, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Franklin, you got to practice. Yeah, you got to practice. Dez and Brian is the Dak next Steve McNair. Yeah, it could be possible. Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for 6 games. Eric Middleton. Yeah, he was suspended for 6 games. And through that whole saga and all through that whole process, he was going through some motions, man. Law Nation right, fam. You can tell Zeke was not seeing the holes right and carried the extra weight. I mean, yeah, it was just like that, man. And then, and like I said, and I'm saying it again, this is the 3rd year to Dak to Dez. No one should have no excuses because normally in the 3rd year, everything jumps. Ezekiel Elliott, there should be no excuses because of the simple fact that now most of the situation with the NFL commission, he understood what he did was wrong. And think about this. This is March the 31st. Last year around this time, everybody was talking about the tatas when he pulled the bra off the lady. Everybody was talking about that last year. So now he just focused on football. So we got that out the way. Even Jordan Lewis, a lot of times, all this time last year, everybody was talking about what? his trial and his case, and then the Dallas Cowboys drafted another troublemaker. So we got pretty much half of that stuff out the way. And now all we have to do is worry about playing football on Sundays. And that's where I want us to be. Will we ever fly under the radar? No. But 2014, we flew under the radar and saw what happened. 2016, we flew under the radar and saw what happened. So hopefully we can just semi-fly under the radar this year. We can win enough games, take it to the Super Bowl and all this stuff. But that's wishful thinking, but we got to play every week, and it's a week-to-week league in the NFL. The Zeke Priya Elliott experience. Dez 1,700 yards gonna blow this ass up. I mean, I would love to see that, man. But realistically, 1,700 yards out of Dez Bryant will be kind of like, okay, we are a run-first oriented football team. And I do know that everybody that plays Madden, everybody that plays fantasy football, they love these high numbers and stats. I would rather for Dez Bryant to have 1,300 yards or 1,200 yards or 1,000 yards. Hell, I would rather for have. If you think I'm wrong on this right here, go and Google Al Jefferson's numbers and stats, and he's a Super Bowl champion now, and see how, that offense curated their whole setup, and you'll see that no receiver stats was just out of the wazoo, We can't have good stats with Aaron, laugh out loud, whoever Aaron is, but if somebody Google Al Jefferson stats and let me know. And Alshon Jefferson for the 2017 season with the Philadelphia Eagles. My thing is, we get so focused on one player with these great stats. Calvin Johnson is a great example, of a guy that had good stats and all this good stuff. Dez Bryant, Law Nation. That's what I said. Super Bowl champs didn't have a 1K receiver. Yeah, he had 800 yards like me, Okay. So, we look at it from this aspect. The Super Bowl champions didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver, right? But a Super Bowl champion is not going back and forth by this wide receiver. And actually, they got rid of one of their guys, Torrey Smith, right? They didn't coddle him because think about it. If any receiver was to win the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys, they'll hold on to it dear life. The thing is with the Dallas Cowboys, we coddle our players. And the other problem is too as well, we kind of just like you said, with Jason Witten, I love him to death, but he ain't no Zach Ertz, whoever that guy is. He ain't no Trey Burton or Boston, whatever that guy is too as well for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know I might get a lot of slack for that, but people going to go back to stats, and they're going to go back to the stats situation and say, well, come on, Law. Look at Witten, how many games he started, look how many games he played and consistently. And it's Dak Prescott is the fault because Witten can run the vertical routes. He was open on that play that Dak Prescott threw the interception on against the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, if you still live in that cupcake dream, then what's going to happen here is that you're going to fall into a world of all these years that we had Tony Romo. Look, Tony Romo generated the most stats out of any quarterback that ever played for the Dallas Cowboys. And I love Tony Romo, and I understand that. But if you look at all those glorified stats that everybody like to pull up, what was our record? How many times we were 13-3? How many times we made the playoff? How many times we was behind in games? And how many of those stats came from garbage time? A lot of people don't want to pull up those things, but they just like to say at the end of the year, we got these quarterbacks with all these good stats, And I'm telling you, man, if you still fall in love with these stats, you're going to find yourself in a situation where it's going to be another situation where you're saying 30 years down the line, you're going to say, man, that quarterback was really throwing the ball. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And then that's will be your joy of watching your players go to the Hall of Fame. My joy would be watching my players host a Lombardi trophy. I mean, with those stats that we talking about, Alshon Jefferson or Jeffries, however you call his last name, With those stats, he would never make it to the Hall of Fame. But guess what? He got him a Super Bowl ring. But those stats of Dez Bryant, he will always make it to the Hall of Fame. But which one you rather have? Would you rather have Hall of Fame or would you rather have Super Bowl rings? And I think that we fall so much in love with stats that to validate a player's career, we rather put him in the Hall of Fame than in the Super Bowl. So my whole thing is with this, man, and you'll never win this because numbers rules everything. And a lot of times people will look at one side of it and somebody will say, well, did you just use stats on Dak Prescott? You know, one stat I don't use on Dak Prescott, the win-loss record. This will be the first time, and I would say years, if we come out of the fray with a winning season. It will be the first time I think, and mark me if I'm wrong, somebody go find this thing. This will be the first time since the 90s if we can somehow be above 9-7 this year. Because you will win 13-3, 9-7, and I'm predicting 13-3 or a 12-4 year. Call me delusional, but I'm predicting that. And this schedule should be a whole lot softer than the schedule that we had previous year, but neither here nor there. That will be our first time in a long time that the Dallas Cowboys at least had 3 winning seasons. Well, 3, although we didn't go to the playoff, but still 3 winning seasons. And it just be one of those things, man. My diamond, it be biting like Mike Tyson, Rico, Baylor Bear, Larry Allen, Dez Bryant, Emmett, yeah, shout out to them. Maybe teams with elite wide receivers don't win the Super Bowl because teams without elite wide receivers spread the ball. Justin Quarles, I hope I'm saying your last name right, Quarles. Spreading the ball is my weird philosophy on this thing. Teams that pay their quarterback buku money, they don't win the Super Bowl. Teams that play their wide receiver elite money, they don't win the Super Bowl. Teams that build their team from within, they win the Super Bowl. And one gonna raise their hand and say, hey, Law, you forgot about the Patriots. How they got all these Super Bowls. Don't they pay Tom Brady something? The first 3 Super Bowls Tom Brady won was very questionable, right? The last 2 Super Bowls, and I'm not trying to throw Tom Brady under the bus because I know somebody's going to just come back and say, well, he's the greatest since he's the next guy that can walk on water. But the first 3 was questionable, and they was all won by, 2 or 3 points. The last 2 that he won was very questionable too. This would be the first guy, really, if you just go back, anybody just go back and look at Tom Brady's Super Bowls, right? One can say, okay, Tom Brady was a part of it, but Bill Belichick and his defense pretty much won the Super Bowl. It was a teams game, right? I think he won most of the Vinatieri kid. Not kid, but the Vinatieri, whoever the kicker was, he pretty much should be like the statue out there in front of their stadium. But if you look at every Super Bowl that the Tom Brady's won, one can say that, hell, Tom Brady was the game manager, Law, ain't it your curfew? Too much Hennessy? Nah, man. You hush your mouth, Dez Bryant. You need to be out there rejuvenating, getting into the hyperbaric chamber. But shout out to you, man. I love you, man. Don't anybody that's out here when y'all hear me talk, man, don't think I'm mad or anything. I love everybody that's in the chat box, man. I love everybody. And Simon, shout out to you, man. I love you too, man. I'm not going off for anybody. Joe Pitt, Late Night Cowboys Talk. Hey, if you have your own channel, I would urge people to watch and listen. Hey, man, controversy and unevenness, man, frictions. That's how we stay upon this earth, right? If everything was smooth, we'd be sliding everywhere. We'd just be everywhere, right? I embrace the people that have different opinion. You guys know, person against their will, the person who thinks against their will is of the same opinion still, So my mindset is not to convince you or change you, but the facts of the matter is, Tom Brady. Look, go back and look at all his 5 Super Bowls, and you can argue and say, well, hell, he pretty much, yes, he was the manager of the game, but really, now statistically, yeah, I know he passed 500 yards for one of those Super Bowls, I guess, against the Atlanta Falcons, but to be honest, man, Atlanta Falcons shot themselves in the foot for that game. And then the game before that, the Seattle Seahawks, all they had to do is run the ball in with beast mode. And I'm not trying to discredit Brady's Super Bowl rings, but what I'm trying to say here is that the team wins the football games, not just one individual guy. Now, Tom Brady, of course, he came back against Atlanta Falcons, whoop-de-whoop. But if they had any mindset, if they had Law as their offensive coordinator, I guarantee you, I'd have ran the ball out, and the only way they probably came back unless my guy would have just said, hell, I'm gonna run the ball out of bounds or some crap like that. But run the ball or fumble or something like that. Neither here nor there. The thing is that every tub must stand on their own bottom. Of course, we understand that, but at the same time, everybody, this is a team's game. And Tom Brady, I'm saying this is a long route, but in order for Tom Brady to win all these games, win all these championships, that brother took a pay cut. He was never the highest paid quarterback. Just look back at history. This Tom Brady, man, took a pay cut to get better defense players on his team, to get better offensive guys too as well. And for me, I'm telling you guys, 10 to 15 years from now, there's going to be, if ESPN's still alive, there's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30. What if I told you that Tom Brady was getting paid under the table while he was playing in the National Football League by Robert Kraft? And here's how we came up with the conclusion. If you ever go to the stadium up there in Boston, he was the only guy at the pro shop had his own personal line of clothing. Think about that. I must be missing out some good stuff, man, but you guys not feeling what I'm saying. When you pay your quarterback so much money, you don't have pieces and places of putting extra people out there on your field as far as defense, or as far as his offense, or as far as getting that one explosive guy that can help you out on the offense. And when you pay your quarterback all that money. And one can argue the same thing with actual wide receivers. When you pay your wide receivers these mega contracts, guess what? You can't feed your running back. You can't feed the offensive guy that's protecting him, and you can barely feed your quarterback guy. So you can't pay everybody. The guys that you can get away from paying the big contracts on are your defensive guys, who they play down tight on the line. Those are guys who can get to the quarterback in so many ways, create pressure, cause turnovers, get sacks, and things like that, and affect the quarterback. Or you pay a lot of money to somebody who can help keep your quarterback upright. Those are teams that typically win the Super Bowl, right? Defense win championships because collectively everybody is getting the ball out too fast, right? So, what a topic you guys want me to put my name on? No Dak Ninja, Dez Greedy Child. I think D Will is a bot. Oh man, Michael Irvin or Dez. Once again, people gonna look at stats and be like, man, Dez stats are just so far beyond Michael Irvin. So give me Dez, But it's not the same, man. It's legal out here in Vegas to puff, 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 puff. Roll tight, man. Roll it tight. Cowboys need to draft a safety and a linebacker in the first 3 rounds. That's from Maurice P. Hey, do what you got to do, Cowboys Nation. Tom Brady, Gronk, Alex Smith, Travis Kelce, Carson, and Zach Ertz, and Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark, Case Keenum, Kyle Rudolph, tight ends. Most important part of the position. I don't know what you're talking about, JLCP, but salute to you for that comment. Cowboys make the mistakes of overpaying and screwed at the end to keep players domino. Yeah, I can see that. Cowboys do tend to overpay their guys, and the market always seems to fluctuate and to justify their payment when they make those payments. Just like the Brandon Carr, everybody could justify it and say, okay, well, we do need us a cornerback, but $50 million for all those years. That was a high. I'm talking about that was a high tab. And then if you think about this too as well, you can say the same thing about Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford, how you say his name? They paid him $40 million or something like that, or something, whatever that contract was before it was up, before he was ready, and they moved him around. And somebody can say that tarnished him because he was to play inside, and they put him at end, and that was the rest is history. So these contracts come back to bite us in a sense. And think about this too as well. We paid Tony Romes, and when we paid him, I think that same year he made it all the way to week 7 or something like that. Broke his pinky or broke his foot or broke something, broke his collarbone or something like that. We paid Dez Bryant, and that very same year he broke his 5th metatarsal foot and was out for that whole entire 2015. Came back against the some team. And Josh Norman, and pretty much gave Josh Norman a big contract because Josh Norman could then validate the fact that he pretty much got in the way of Dez Bryant. And think about this, those type of injuries, I think the Dallas Cowboys rushed him back, I can say that. And Tony Romes, after 2014, was just coming back from that collarbone. They rushed him back in the same song and dance. So football is a war of attrition, guys. And when you pay these guys, it's just something about, you have a more chance of something happening, especially in the salary cap league and free agencies. Everybody have a right to go to the team that they want once they get paid, after they get paid, or if they don't get paid, they can go to the team they want, because the market pretty much sets itself, and how's that happen? Pretty much Sammy Watkins and whoever the other guy, when they got those big contracts, the market set themselves, because you're always going to have a team that have so much money that it really won't hurt them. Just like, for instance, the Rams. Everybody do some self-scouting on the Rams. Why the Rams are able to make all this money moves, right? It's because they're not making a quarterback payment. They're not paying their quarterback right now. They got 5 years, and that's why it's so important to pay Jared Goff or to not pay Jared Goff, but to draft a quarterback with the first round. They got 5 years to work this thing out with their quarterback, right? 5 years. So they're not paying a quarterback nothing. They still got over $23 million that they can just say, okay, we can party out. It only typically costs you about $4 to $5 million to sign your draft picks this coming draft. So they got that money. They can pretty much go out there and say, okay, we'll throw you a sack in the third in next year's first for Odell Beckham and get him, That's how much money they got, because they're not paying their quarterback. And I said all this to say that I hate to go back to the history, but if you think about this, when we paid Tony Romo that big old contract, can you imagine if they say, okay, Tony, we're not going to pay you this money because we'd already looked into the future, and by us looking into the future, we know that you won't have an offensive line and you won't have a defense at all. Let us give you half of this money, and we can put some defensive guys around you, and that way you can get you a Super Bowl because you have the top 10 defense, and on top of that, you have a top 5 or a top 3 offense. if we can maneuver and push some of this money around and let us go ahead and get rid of, let us not even entertain Brandon Carr. But hindsight is always 2020, right? Because these players at this time of their lives are going to say, hey, give me the money. Because I don't know, nobody in the chat box is going to turn down $150 million or $120 million or $105 million, whatever the contract was for Tony Romo at the time. Dak Prescott over Tom Brady, and that's from Reva. I didn't say that. But it could be possible. Dez Bryant, Law Nation, I think the Rams will fall with these moves, though. I mean, could be possible, you know. I'm not saying I'm not a czar. Like I said, I'm not a person that can see into the future. But the upside is there, you know. And the only way they can fall if their quarterback goes down, if their quarterback is just not there, you know. If their quarterback plays anything close to what he played last year, I don't see the Rams falling. Cooper Rush would be okay as the backup quarterback. Late Night Cowboys talk. Yeah, you are listening to the Late Night Cowboys edition. Dustin Walker, that's right. Romp had no team around him for most of his career. And that's the conundrum, Dustin. That is the conundrum. The conundrum piece of everything will be this right here. If you sign a quarterback to a big deal, a big contract, you won't have enough money to pay the rest of your team. All right, this is Maurice P. Law Nation, tell us who you like in this year's draft. Darren Trinidad James will be my guy, but like I said, the new NFL ruling as far as hitting and all this stuff, dipping your head down, all that craziness. Give me a Vita Vea, defensive guy that can just crash upfield and collapse the pocket. Or if not, then give me a running back. Give me the, not running back, but Will Hernandez. The foundation, and also Bobby Carpenter. Draft was dumb. Yeah, that was stupidity at its max level. Bud and me, Law, I hope you took out the policy to protect the beard. I'm jealous of that fuzzy. Yeah, man. Fear of the beard. I trimmed it down just a little bit too this morning, you know. Trim my beard down just a little bit, you know. Cowboys abroad, you know. Shout out to you, man. How long this stream been going? Because I am been talking forever. I know I love talking to you guys. Let me see how long this thing been going. You will never find a beard like mine. Oh man, okay, going on for a pretty good little minute. 2 hours and 42 minutes. I appreciate that. So this is what I want you guys to do. Help a brother out. You know, I want you guys to share this video, like this video, or as they say, smash this video with the like button. Those who want notifications and things of that ilk, don't forget to pluck the what's he call that? The subscriber bell down there. And yeah, share this video as we talk, you know. And I'm gonna see how much longer I can go before I call it a night, you know. This is brought to you guys, since it's the late night edition. This is brought to you guys by, let me see if I got something down here. Sky Vodka. Yes, this is brought to you by Sky Vodka. And I'm not even a vodka guy. I'm more of a hen dog, but I ran out. So you're listening to nothing but the vodka. The Sky is the best. Yeah. Need you online more, Delta Boy. I think that's what you were saying. Give us a flex shout out. Shout out to you. Shout out to Bud and me and Domino and who else? Justin Quarles and who else out there? Who else is out there? Let me know. What's up with Deshaun? And you guys see I just drink it butt naked because I don't put nothing in it. the proper way to order that drink is to say, give me a vodka neat. Just say neat. And if you're ever out there in a spot or a club or anything like that, and you want to get a glass opposed to a cup, just say I want it neat. And then 9 times out of 10 they give you a glass. Gun show. I'm not gonna show you my guns. I can't show you my weapons, man. Thank you, Law. No, thank you. Wiggle Bells with the black hand. Shout out to you, man. Joe Pittman. I'm out, family. Good night. Hey, man. See you, man. My Cavassier is running out. Oh, man. That signifies the end of my show. Yeah. Pass the Cavassier. I like Cavassier. Smooth, rich. They made a song off of it, and Cavassier with a nice cigar, maybe a Java or something like that. That goes well together too as well. Thank you. Good night, Joe. Yeah, Vampire Prince. Sup, Fab? You the vampire? You up late like me, man? Grey Goose tried Domino. Yeah, man. My liquor cellar is just very nice. True story, guys. True story. My neighbor came by. I was pulling out of the driveway, and he pulled me. He kind of pretty much got in the way and said, "Hey, man, I want to talk to you for a quick second." I miss my hair. I want to talk to you for a quick second. And he was like, I was like, okay, all right, talk to me. I like, talk to me. And he said, I got these 2 tickets, man. Ever since the shooting that occurred, and we had this HOA meeting, a lot of people don't know who their neighbors are, right? And they're talking about the shooting, whoever shot up somebody, not in Dallas, but I think it was in Orlando, whatever it was, and he was talking about and the shooting, the bombing, and all that stuff, and he was talking about a lot of people don't know who their neighbors are, and I just coming by to see who you are, and I was like, look, man, my name is, Lawrence, and, I work for this company, and I don't run, but I got a semi, followings, and on Law Nation, it's a YouTube channel, blase, blase, blase. Dude said, cool. He gave me some tickets, man, to a jazz concert. The tickets like $80 a piece, man. I guess he just rolling in dough like that, right? Gave me and my wife a ticket to go to this jazz concert. And he was saying, like, just come swing by my house and come pick up the ticket. And I was like, okay, I pick it up when I get off of work. 'Cause it was like early in the morning. I'm driving out my driveway. I get off of work, and around 6:30, 7 o'clock comes. And I goes over this guy's house, step through the door, and, dude got these big old tall doors, man. And he showed me all his paintings and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. Like, where them damn tickets at? So I get on out of here, But he's like, man, come on, talk to me. And I was like, okay, cool. His son came down, his wife and everybody. I think his wife went off to another room. But he took me over to his bar area. And we sat down, we were chopping it up. And he's like, man, what's your drink of choice? And I said, hen, man, I drink the hen. And he pulled out the hen. He said, I don't got hen, but I got something better. And I said, well, shit, ain't nothing better than hen. And he pulled out the white hen on me. And I said, man, you my best friend now. So he pulled out the white hen. We got to sipping on that. And neat, of course. But I told him, like, look, man, I don't want to be drinking your whole entire bottle. So put a little ice in there. You put a little ice in there to savor it. And we got to talking, man. And he telling me he ran a advertisement company. They do all type of promotions, and he been doing it for a minute. And I know I'm long-winded in telling this story, but you guys have nothing else to do, right? So he was talking this story about, that he used to play for the Denver Broncos way back in the days. And some of his partners still play, not still play, but some of his partners play for the Cowboys and stuff like that. So, you always hear that 1 or 2 people that talk all that rah-rah stuff, right? I'm like, yeah, 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 And then to make a long story short, he's like, man, I'm gonna call old boy right now, I said, okay. This brother then pulled out his phone and called Doug Williams, first black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. And he called Doug Williams up, and I was like, oh, okay, wow. But I said, I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't really care about Doug Williams. I don't really care about that guy. So he gets on the phone. He calls my guy, Ed Too Tall Jones. I was like, man, I was perplexed. And in the moment, guys, we working on getting Ed Too Tall. You know what I mean? On Law Nation, just by knowing your neighbor, he was able to reach out to Ed Too Tall, and I'm gonna get him on the show one day. I don't know when, but I'm gonna get him on the show. Got a chance to chop it up with him. I was giddy for a little bit, man. I was saying like, man, don't you guys know how much I love the Cowboys, and to have Ed, the man, the myth, the legend, you know what I'm saying, a Super Bowl champion on my show from the Dallas Cowboys, man, don't you know how that is just going to be so remarkable? And then on top of that, he threw in some more cherries, man. The guy pretty much does like advertising, marketing for these big old companies. Dude got a big old house, man. So whatever he's talking, he wasn't lying. You see something when you see a brother with a big old house like that. Man, I'm looking at my house. Yeah, my house big, but his is bigger. I'm just like, dog, but he's like in his 60s though. So I guess when I get around that age, I have a big house like that. But and then again, when you have a big house, you always want to show it off. And he was showing me his man cave, his stuff. Man, the dude got like a whole recliner studio and stuff like that. I said, man, I'm gonna grow up and be like this guy. But to make a long story short, he said, look here. Since you like the Cowboys, I can get you tickets to the game. I'm like, oh, really? You know what I mean? So he said, hey, just do me a favor. You plug my stuff, I plug yours. I said, won't be hard at all. So if you guys ever in the area, in the Dallas area, just type in, he said, just type in Al Washington, A-L Wash. I'm going to say A-L Wash. He got our own company called ALW Wash. And just let him know that, hey, a guy named Law Nation said, look, he hit you up, But he got his own limo company, his own, got a whole bunch of stuff, man. When you got crazy money like that, you just got money, man, and retired old money, when you got that old money, man, you just say, okay, hit me up at any time, put my name out there, and I was like, okay, old school marketing. And what else he said? Oh man, I can get you tickets to the draft. I'm like, you got my attention. You give me tickets to the draft. You can give me tickets to, you got me getting with Too Tall. You know what I'm saying? Ed Too Tall and some other guys. He said, he and he just got it in his pocket. Just call him up. First name basis, man, and that's something remarkable. And I know you guys got your Google fingers open, but type in Al Washington, not Washington, but A-L Wash. I guess they didn't want to put the ton on the last of his name, but it's truly amazing standing. Oh, and let me tell y'all this too as well. And I don't bloviate that says this stuff. I don't brag or boast. It's not my cup of tea. But we're gonna try to work in some other stuff like Dez Bryant personal trainer. We're working on that too as well. For those who talking about coming on the show, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about Dez Bryant personal trainer. He's working out Christian. And I don't want to just, I'm always, thinking down the line, right? Because I don't want just to pertain it around Dez Bryant personal trainer. I want to pertain it around, craft it. That's a better way to say it. Crafting it around the fact that, man, I know you as a person. I know you as what school you went to. I know your wife now. I know your daughter. I know the rookie that you're working out with, and it's about building that trust and that foundation, so that you would never want to use somebody for just that one time, and then you move on. I want to develop a. That's what I tell them. I'm more so wanting to work with the youth, the younger guys, and I can come down there when you train them and work them out, and I can have the exclusive footage of Emmanuel Sanders working out, or a Christian Kirk working out, or DJ Moore, whoever decides to work out with the guy. And let me just come down to the studio and do that, and I help your YouTube channel out, and at the same time, you help me out. That's the type of world it is. And D-Rob YouTube channel got about 159 followers. It's not a lot, and let me see if I can find this channel for you guys. I'll put it in the box, man, down below. And that's what it's about, man. And those who deliver or go to the channel, just tell them Law Nation sent you his way, help me to help you, or help me to help myself, however the saying goes. You guys know how it goes. It's too late at night. Let me see. Yeah, man. So I really appreciate all you guys, man, in the chat box. That's what I want, man. He got 114 subscribers, man, and got good stuff, man. But got good stuff, man, and we just wanna help the brother out, So I don't know if you guys can click on it from here, but I'm gonna put it in the chat box. And the thing is, it's not, and I'm talking about, it's not about sometimes, like me. If you guys go to his page, he got 114 subscribers. I'm sitting there like, dog, I had got 114 subscribers like the other day. You know what I mean? And I'm talking on the phone with him, and I'm talking on the phone with this guy, David Robinson, and I'm so perplexed from the simple fact that it's crazy, man, because I can hear Dez Bryant in the background. You see what I'm saying? That's how crazy this thing can go, And I hear him working out with Christian Kirk. So he got a video of Christian Kirk 2 days ago with 17 views, man. And I know for sure that if get me down there to the studio, get me down there, not the studio, get me down there to his workout facility. Let me just hell, I don't even have to bring in a whole camera crew. Just let me bring in my little small camera from my phone. You know what I mean? And I can do the same thing. I can just go over there. And thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session as we take a look at Christian Kirk working out with David Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And it's about that. So I'm going to post the link again, and I should post it in the bottom of this description box of the video. But you guys click that link, go subscribe to his page. Let him know that, hey, who has 17 views? Let me see. It's 33 views now. This is my guy. Clicked on the video. It's spinning now because I'm already live. But let me click on this video right here. Click on this video right here, Dez Bryant. That's my guy. He's working out these guys, man. So teaching them how to put the foot placement, the technique, things that the kids need to learn out there. And now he got 115 subscribers, so maybe we want somebody to follow the channel. So that's all I had to say on that aspect of it, man. It's all about networking, getting people going in the right direction. So, I mean, that's what we got to do, So those links that I put in the comment box, the chat box, I want you guys to subscribe to him. Let him know that hey, just do me a favor, Just say, hey man, my guy Law, he does film breakdown, film sessions, things of that ilk. And he was talking about you, and he sent me this way, and I'm checking out your stuff, man. And I like what you're doing so far, because he helped out Emmanuel Sanders. He helped out a plethora of wide receivers that play in the National Football to this day. He's actually helping out Dez Bryant, So those are things that he does, and is a local guy down here in Texas. Got his own facility. He actually played David Robinson. We call him D-Rob, always open. David Robinson actually played for Oklahoma, played with your guy, Adrian Peterson, all day. So him and they was on the same team at the same time, basically. So I'm always working. He's always open. D-Rob always open. I'm always working, It's 1 o'clock where I'm at. I hope you guys can still see me, because I hope I ain't froze up on your screen there. I'm still moving around because I know got all these windows open. So that's what it's about, man. Is helping one grow and putting people out there. So how amazing that would be, to have a wide receiver route guru on the show, talking about how they was able to help and elevate somebody. Is it Maxwell? It's dangerous being a Cowboys fan out here. People just assume it's a gang thing. I mean, it's not a gang, Everywhere I went, I've been to a lot of states in this country. And we see a Cowboys hat, a Cowboys paraphernalia, or Cowboys emblem somewhere on a car, a keychain, somewhere like that, Yeah, man, I appreciate that, Deshaun. Vampire Prince, I was a legend in Waco. Hey, man, you got to be a Fred Woods legend, living legend. Now you got to say you're a living legend. But guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up, but I really thank everybody, the soldiers, the beast, the 57 people that's in the box, man. Shout out to Vampire, Buddy, me, Jesse P, Hunt for Dak, Blake, Domino, Maxwell, Simons, if you're still in the house, I know you're probably gone, Dez Bryant, shout out to you. Who else? Anybody else that's in the chat box before I run? Delta Boy 2011. Good night, fam. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and down this thing, because we don't want no alcohol poison, right? Ryan, shout out to you. Dustin Walker. I want y'all to finish y'all drink. Don't y'all leave y'all drink open all night now. Tell you, man, that drink make your teeth white, right? Good night, everybody. I really appreciate you for your time. That's all the time I have. Young Money, Young C Money. That used to be my nickname growing up, C Money, because my middle name started with a C. And I said, C Money, C Money, C Money. I used to sell like these little Laffy Taffy 9-laters. I used to sell a little bag of Doritos and Cheetos and stuff like that. I used to sell those little things. So they'd be like, look, see money. And then when the CDs and DVDs came about, I used to sell those too as well. I used to have, say, 3 for 15 CDs and DVDs for sale. Be out there in the Walmart parking lot. That's how I used to get my hustle on. So they used to call me C Money. So that name, man, it's a cool name, Young C Money. Good night to you, Maurice P. I'm from the future. Shout out to you. Burn Bar, Late Night Cowboys Talk. Good night. Yeah, Deshaun Thompson again. Rachel, shout out to you, man. Well, shout out to you, not the man. Shout out to you, lady. Ryan again. Good night, guys. Don't forget, please go follow the David Robinson YouTube page. I post a link in the Cold Money, man. It's so Cold Money, but my C stand for something else. Click on this video right here. Go follow his page. It's in the box right there in the thread. Follow the page and let him know that, hey, Law Law told me about you, man, and I just wanted to check out your content, man. Law, this type of stuff, man. Just do that type of stuff, man, to help a brother out. Also, don't forget about Al Wash. I mean, this is his name. That's how you spell his name. Just type him in the Google. He should be the first person that pop up on your page. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna write it down right here. If you type out Al Wash from, just type in Texas or what have you. You should have ALW Entertainment. Hit him up too as well if possible. He's supposed to be the guy to be the plug for me, man, this year as far as giving out tickets to the game and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a lot of things. He gonna set me up with Ed Too Tall. Got a chance to chat with him just briefly yesterday, so it was like very livid about that, And maybe I can do like a little special with Ed Too Tall and some other guys that do talking. ALW Entertainment, yes, Cowboys Abroad. He's a big guy, man. He used to play for the Denver Broncos. That's what he told me at least. But big guy, man, real big guy. You should see him on one of the videos. ALW Entertainment. Check him out. I mean, let me tell you about networking so much, man. I know it's 48 people. I know I'll tell everybody I'm about to go, but they probably watch this on the rerun or what have you. ALW Entertainment. Not trying to speak beyond my wisdom teeth, right? But he was saying that hell, for the Hall of Fame game just coming up year, he's going to be there. He's going to be the one that's going to be curating, setting up everything. And guess what? He said, hell, depending on how we, network this thing out, hell, I'll fly you up there with me, so that I love football. Hell, right now, hell, I'll watch any football right about now. I'll watch rugby. I'll watch Canadian football right now. We need to watch some football right now, right? I love football. So by me getting a chance to go to it would have been better if it was last year, but, it is what it is. So whoever played the Hall of Fame game this year, I'll be there. I'll be able to scout some players. I'll be able to look at some players. I'll be able to shake the hands of the players. I will be able to tell them, look, and remember, you're listening to nothing but the bass. He was talking about, hell, he can even get me started with being on a PA announcement for some of these college football games. He said, man, you got a good voice. I said, yeah, man, I try to dib and dab a little bit, And, of course, it was like me talking without the microphone. And he was still saying, like, man, you got a good voice. And I was like, yeah, well, just natural. I was always I'm the runt of my family. I'm the smallest guy in my family. I'm 5'10". My little brother's like 6'3". Everybody's 6'3", 6'4". But I got the deepest voice, though, So I guess that's where my height went to, But neither here nor there, man. I hate to leave you guys, man, because I still got energy. I took that sip, and I still got more energy. Micah, Irvin, or Dez, D. Will. Give me the guy that got rings, Old Dog or bragging legend. I'm confused. He might be a bragging legend. I don't know what you guys talking about on that. Damn, I'm late. Kofi, man, I'm about to wrap it up, man. But look, I don't know if you can rewind, but I'm gonna post this link right here, Kofi, because I know you're always, man. I think your name's just Coffee, but I'm just kind of Kofi. But I'm gonna post the link right here. I want you to watch the video, like the video, and subscribe to that man's channel. That's my guy, David Robinson. He's the wide receiver guru for Dez Bryant. I'm trying to craft out a time because he's like me. It's hard for him to have time because he's either training the Dez Bryant. He's training Christian Kirk, whatever the guy name. It's late for me. And then he got not to put the man business out here, but he got a young child just like me. So he got like a little 17, 18-month-old child. So it's hard, when you're trying to talk about doing all these things and just try to keep your life together. It's hard, man. It's rough business, Yeah, you can rewind. So yeah, just rewind, Kofi, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as the network that we're trying to do to get this thing going in the right direction. Oh, salute to Okoye. We're gonna We might staple a Tuesday night show. I did a show last Tuesday night with him. We wasn't live. We just went, talked about some stuff, talked about football. So next week, Tuesday night, I haven't decided a date time frame. I mean, not a time frame. It may be more so around 9 because I put my baby to bed at 8, and she'd be good and sleep at 9. And we're going to try to do like at least a 30-minute to an hour show every Tuesday night of us just talking what's on our mind about football. Maybe we throw in some boxing, those who want to keep your elbows tight, extend and release from your boxing lower frame. You box more from your legs. We might do, thank you for tuning in to the Low Nation Film Session, as we take a deeper look at Terrence Crawford, one of the best, boxing phenoms out there. We might dib and dab at a little boxing / football talk, because there's nobody really. Think about this. There really wasn't that many people doing film sessions, film breakdowns, film reviews, as far as football, right? Just be honest, like, it wasn't that many people doing that. You got a lot of people doing it, right? But we might change the game up a little bit, and we probably start talking about a little boxing. And we can break down boxing too as well. So, buddy, me, it's always a good time. Look, Eric Middleton, the Dallas Cowboys are smart. They keeping their players on. Yeah, that is funny, man. So don't forget to hit the notification box, man. I do know that I said I would do a show. Don't forget, guys. I gotta promote this right here for those who want to do something. You guys might see me out there in Arlington tomorrow between 1 and 5. They have the military combine. The military combine is a free 99. If you're in the Dallas area, you can go to the stadium for free. You don't have to pay nothing. You just go out there to the stadium between 1 and 5. You can go in. And you can watch the military people do their combine workout drills, hop, jump, shuttle drive, and all this stuff. So I want you guys to go to the military combine tomorrow between 1 and 5 if you are in the Dallas area. Boxing, my first love. I like that. Yeah, Maxwell. Okay. Yeah. Who's your guy? Triple G. Okay, I see you. Triple G versus Canelo. Who wins, Law? Oh, man. Oh, that's what we're going to do then. Canelo. Promote him, Law. Canelo. Oh, my God. You guys love boxing like this? Yeah, I can really break it down boxing now, boy. Man, I can't wait. We ain't gonna spoil it. We ain't gonna spoil that, We're gonna be Okoye and Law Nation. We're gonna talk about the Triple G versus Canelo. Oh wow, we gonna get this thing going one way or another. And I'm telling you guys right now, secret stuff. Right? It's like this secret society around here. I'm gonna be just really entrenched about what this thing gonna be with boxing, right? We really gonna start. Ooh, my God, man. I'm not gonna tell you guys nothing about this boxing no more. Hey, if you don't pull another Mayweather and run, oh man, Canelo got that power, man. I think Triple G is that brother there, man. Oh my God, man. Triple G, he's quick finesse, man. I don't know, man. It's gonna be one of those things. As a 27-year vet in the Army, that's my cup of tea. I got to look into that, Law Nation. Oh, Fred Woods. Army, man. My dad's Army. I'm a military brat, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you for your services, man. Every time. Right. So, man, I can't say much more, man, but I'm going to just say this. Highest knockout percentage, G, Triple G. We going to talk, man. I can't shed who I'm leaning more towards now. You know what I mean? So we're going to have Okoye and Law Nation. We're going to talk about the Triple G and Okoye. Not Triple G and Okoye. Triple G and Canelo. infantry. Shout out, salute. We're gonna talk about this next Tuesday night, and this time we're gonna go live in the flesh, and we'll get this thing going one way or another. I can't leave you guys because I love you guys, but hey, I gotta run. And remember, you guys are listening to Nothing But the Best. Salute. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the channel. Don't forget to follow D-Rob page too as well. I gotta post this link one more time. Where are you? You will never find. All right. Subscribe. Come on, man. Only 116 subscribers, man. 120. Okay. All right, you guys got to go help this man out, man. And no way in life he should have only 120 subscribers. Bam. Peace. Salute. Hit the link. Follow his page. Like his page. Tell him that Law Nation sent you. He got like a little quick clip of Emmanuel Sanders. Let you guys know a Dez Bryant clip is going to be out there shortly. Just from my eyes to yours, my lips to your ears. That's all the time I have for today. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, I'm going to say it again. Remember, you guys are listening to Nothing But the Bass. Salute. I'm out. Yes, I'm out. Peace.